afternoon, good day, wherever you are. This is AD of Love, Growth, and Freedom with Adrian Duarte. And today is our first special episode for this Pride Month special. And this episode aims to educate and help people be aware of the reasons and the need for Pride Month, and it's not all just rainbow flags and parades. Pride is a movement that seeks to uplift voices from the community to fend off hate and further casualties in our community. So it's not just all rainbows and butterflies. And today I have a special guest, and I would love to invite him over to talk about the importance of Pride Month and why do we celebrate it. It's not all just fun games and rainbow flags everywhere, It has a meaning, it has a reason why we still celebrate Pride, and why do we have to celebrate Pride. Pride has been something that we celebrate throughout the years as we move forward in our fight for acceptance and human rights in our society. For us, the LGBTQIA community. And I'd love to take the time to share this stage with one of the people who actively seeks to create a safe space for the community. Today, I am joined by civil servant, LGBTQIA plus advocate, and college instructor, and also online host. He doesn't want to say that, but he is, and he's one of my good friends up here in the online space. Let's welcome Mr. Chal Maling. All right. Okay, admitting. Hi, Chal.
Hello.
Kamusta?
Hello, hello,
Kamusta?
hello.
How are you,
I'm
Chal?
great. I'm kind of tired because I've been like puyat for how many days already because of ACADS. But yeah, we're pushing through. I'm so excited for this episode for your podcast because I'm very passionate about this particular topic that we're gonna be talking about. Ayan.
Yes. Well, to be honest, no, the reason why I thought of you the whole time getting through this episode was like, okay, who do I know who really does fight, like personally know that is doing this kind of activity and or pushing for rights for the community. And I was like, oh, Chal, why would I look farther? Chal. And so little background, I actually introduced you. Chal. You didn't put this in your bio, which I forgot. I said hosts, okay? Events and online hosts. So nobody wants to know, but Chal
Yes.
is the Blog Alive host search season 2 winner. And
Yeah.
and I was there for his journey, so I just wanted to include that, and I
Yes.
wanted him over here. And we never actually had the moment to just come together and like
Mm-hmm.
get to know each other more, because everything just kept on moving forward.
I
We just see each other on
know.
events, and then like that's it, and we don't really get to talk. So this is gonna be our moment to share with you this
Yes.
space. Yeah.
Yes, I'm so excited for this because yun nga, we only get updated with each other's lives sa IG. I get
Yeah.
to see your advice Thursdays. I know you're watching some of my blog lives. Tas dire-diretso, but we never really had this one-on-one, sit-down, chikahan, marehan, and whatnot. So,
Yeah. We only get to do it in the comments, and it's not always like so interactive. It's so hard. I laugh and I
oo.
comment and we like he can't hear me. It's not the same.
Mhm. Kaya
So
excited na din ako sa sa get together ng Blog Live hosts.
I know I can't wait. I would love to. Oh, that would be so much fun. I think we should do a game or a vlog. So yeah, but
Yeah.
anyway, we're here all together to discuss with you the importance of Pride and why we celebrate it. So without further ado, Child, do you have anything else you want to tell the guests and the listeners? You want to introduce yourself further, or is there anything that you want to give them a glimpse of who you are before we start our discussion?
Yes. All right. So, hi guys. My name is Richel, but you can call me Chal for short. I am Kings and Queens host for one of the uh Facebook page called Spaces Manila. We talk about all kinky and queenly stuff with regard to the LGBTQIA plus community and how the social issues affect our community. And then I'm also an incoming volunteer for Love Yourself. I also do hosting on the side for events, for online shows and gigs and whatnot. I'm also trying to impart life lessons to my students because I'm also a college professor. And that's it. Mainly everything I do, I try to invite my soji or my identity because it's who I am. And again, thank you, A, for giving me this platform because this is something that I want to like share talaga, or at least it's not only me naman who knows about these stuff, 'di ba?
Yeah.
What's important that we um take over, in quotes, take over a lot of platforms in order for us to, get the message out there and people know our story then.
Yeah.
Yun.
I feel that. So the reason why, yan nga, the reason why I wanted Chal to come over here is I know how much it means for him to also celebrate Pride. I've been seeing that throughout the whole, and he's been very proud, and I've been inspired by all his like things that he does for the community. So I was like, okay, let's see if he wants. I was so scared. Actually, I thought you're so busy. I was like, oh, he might say no because he's busy, but then he said yes. I was like, okay, thank God. So I'm happy that you're here. So let's get on with the discussion, right? So we
Yes.
talk about pride, like you talk about how it is important to use your voice and platform, and I also feel the same way. So can you tell us more of like what is pride to you, and why do you celebrate it, and why do we have to
Mm-hmm.
celebrate it? Can you tell us a little brief history
Yes.
of about pride? So there you go.
Yes. So Pride, it all started in New York. It started in the 1980s. We're in the main proponent of Pride are transgender brothers and sisters in New York. It's called the Stonewall Riots,
Mm-hmm.
wherein they wanted to show that LGBTQIA hate is not acceptable. That's why they
Mm-hmm.
rioted. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Stonewall Inn was, I think, parang raided or something like that. Something happened in Stonewall. I may be wrong, but kasi I haven't like got into the history yet.
Yeah.
But I know the Stonewall riot started it all.
Yeah.
And
With Marsha
then
P. Johnson. I also know that
yes.
I'm not knee deep into it, but I also
Uh-uh.
know that it was they say that it was a riot because people were really abusing the community, and they were
Abuse.
yeah,
Yes.
and they have had it in that Stonewall Inn, and
Yes.
they all had to fight, to actually
Mm-hmm.
defend themselves from the
Yes.
government and all the like. So that's all. I also know
So
that, Ed. Go.
yeah. So I would just like to let everyone know that the Pride before is very far from how it is being celebrated now. Because that's how Pride started, diba? So it was a protest. So I want to remind everyone, the very first Pride is a protest. It was for standing up for our rights, for equality, for uh for non-discrimination of the people in our community. And most importantly, it was our trans brothers and sisters who were at the forefront of that particular riot. So we should never forget that, because there's internal parang uh, for the lack of a better term, transphobia in our
Yeah.
community, wherein the trans community feels that they are being made inferior. But well, in fact, they are the reason why we are celebrating Pride right now.
Yeah.
It's because of them. So that's why we love our trans brothers and sisters. So yun lang naman yung alam ko when it comes to the history of Pride and how it started. But again, I would always circle back to, yes, Pride is a celebration, but it's always a protest. The reason why we celebrate Pride now is because all over the world, most especially here in the Philippines, hindi pa rin fully accepted and may
Yeah.
discrimination pa rin sa community natin.
For
And it's
sure.
quite sad because it's 2021, 'di ba? We know that in Congress, the anti-discrimination bill, the SOGI bill is not passed, even though we thought that we had allies in the legislative branch, 'di ba? So it's important because we need to keep on reminding people that, one, we are valid, and two, our existence is not just a facet of the like the of society, di
Yes.
ba?
And we're not just
Our
for
existence is,
diversity. Yeah, not for just
yeah.
representation. We are here. We are
Mm-hmm.
valid, and our
Yes.
rights should be
And we're
heard.
part
Yeah.
of the society. We're also trailblazers. We are also game changers. malaki ang ambag ng LGBTQIA+ sa society.
Entertainment. Yeah,
So,
entertainment.
yeah,
We also have like education. Ang dami-dami nating contributions to
exactly.
society.
'Di ba parang may kasabihan nga 'di ba, if you want something done right, bigay mo sa bakla, ibigay mo sa LGBTQIA+, 'di ba? Kasi we know how to do it great. We know how to do it like beyond what's expected from us because that has been our core, 'di ba? I mean, I would always remind nga din people na parang hindi nyo ba alam the reason why I try my very best to excel at everything that I do is because as part of the community, we always had that feeling na parang dapat lagi kami may patunayan,
That is so
'di
true.
ba?
It's like you always have to overcompensate because you are
Yes.
gay or because you are part of the community.
Yes.
And that's been
Mhm.
ingrained so much growing up. Even on my
Oo.
end. Like, I think everybody in the community has felt that. Yung parang, I'm bakla man ako, pero ganito yung naabot ko. Like, there's
Oo,
always
laging may
that.
pero.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oo. So parang it's quite sad na we always had to prove ourselves to society and that's why now we're excelling. Now
For sure.
we're all over the all over like different tawag doon, industries and we're excelling, 'di ba? Most of us have positions, most of us are well respected. But then what's sad is we don't get to enjoy the certain rights that straight
Yeah.
people get to enjoy. And that's why pride is important. It's a yearly reminder na hey, kakalampagin namin kayo. It's a protest.
Mm-mm.
You'll see rainbows all over, but it's not enough. You
Exactly.
need to do something for us, 'di ba?
Exactly.
So
I
yun.
love that. It's not enough that you put out a rainbow logo. It's not enough that you put on a rainbow sticker. You stand with us in these
Yes.
times. I love that because it's a reminder. Like, how the reason I also think, the reason right now pride means so much to me because I know that it's a symbol of the struggle that we had, the struggle that we had growing up. And it's a privilege to actually be someone who's openly gay right now,
Mhm.
openly out, being accepted by your family. So like be having that
Exactly.
power, great power comes with great responsibility. Makes me feel like I have to do something about this one
Mhm.
because every year we're still reminded that people in our community still die because of hate crimes and all the like. So it's a it's a very good thing that you said. You have to do more than just put on a rainbow flag
Yes.
and say I
And
support
I
you.
would just like to say this ha. Maraming nagiging advocacy yung LGBTQIA rights kapag Pride Month, kapag June, but hindi lahat ng advocates allies. Those are two different things. Because when you're an advocate, you just suggest, you support, you show support. But if you're an ally, pero hindi naman lahat na nagpapakita ng support, kakampi mo eventually, di ba? Parang pwede kanyang iwan. But if someone declares that they're an ally, they are with you all throughout. They would push for the same rights, 'di ba? Kasi yun yung parang nag-iiba eh. Yun yung misconception na parang, 'di ba? I had to search nga the true meaning of advocacy and it says here, it's a public support for or recommendation of a particular cause or policy. So it's just
Mm,
a show of support or recommendation na parang okay, I'll show this we'll change our logo into a rainbow logo. Let's be an advocate of LGBTQIA rights or the community for this month. But eventually, when you check their values or when you check if they would be willing to help you out when you like ask for a petition, yung mga ganon, yung support, as in allyship
yeah.
level support, they would say no, 'di ba? So, we call it rainbow washing, 'di ba? So
They
parang
use it. Yeah, that sucks also. I've noticed that. Like a lot of brands, a lot of things that they say support this, but then at the end, you'll see anti LGBTQIA
yes,
policies in their companies, or they don't really accept
exactly.
it. They're just like, oh, because it's a trend. You know what? Like right now, that is, I think, the biggest misconception of pride is that, oh, it's a celebration, oh, it's all for the gays and it's all for
Yes.
the like that, but they don't understand the deeper meaning of why we actually do this. And it's not for fun and games. It's not celebrations at all. It is because
Mm-hmm.
we still are oppressed. We still are a minority and we still are not recognized, as people. Like the Sogi Bill and all the like. So it's okay, yeah. Oh my gosh, this is so deep. I really love
And
talking about this.
lastly,
Yeah.
AD, I hate that there are straight people asking why is there gay pride at walang straight pride. Oh my God, you're not even part of the minority. 'Di ba parang girl, when you go out, you will not be looked upon when you hold hands with your partner.
Exactly.
'Di ba? Parang kami, when I hold hands with my partner, it takes courage to do that. 'Di
Yeah.
ba? To even just sit in a table with your partner and be sweet because you know people will look at you. So parang wag niyo na tanggalin sa'min 'to kasi hindi naman kayo part ng minority and your existence is never questioned,
Yeah.
'di ba?
And it was never at all like, oh, maybe it's a phase. It was never at all. Yeah,
Hmm.
I get that. So annoying. I hate that. I hate hearing that too. Like, are you serious? Straight pride.
Hindi ako
Like,
subdivision or hindi din ako buwan para magkaroon ng face. So
totoo.
parang
Oh, and also they
or
also have this
maybe
new
being straight
term.
was a face. Char.
Maybe. No, but they also said there is also like super straight. They actually had to do that. I saw that on TikTok and all the likes, and they were like, super straight is a new sexual orientation. And I'm like, what the hell? I mean, you're that
Hey,
insecure of your own sexuality that our presence is gonna bother your sexuality. Like that is so,
exactly.
that is, no, it's not. So
Mm.
I love that little exchange on Pride. No, it's a little heated. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
started big and heated. I really do
Yeah.
like that. So, how do you celebrate Pride in your own way? It's like, how do you enjoy it? How do you try to, do your part for the community?
Actually, I celebrate Pride not not only in June.
Uh
I
huh.
celebrate all like the whole year because I'm proud of who I am. So I have like a lot of straps for my watches. I have like shirts that I wear that says be true and whatnot. I really try to like show it like even my cups are like
I
pride
love it.
themed.
Yeah.
So mga ganon. So parang it's more than that. Pero kasi kami like kami sa Kings and Queens uh we yun din yung sabi namin na we want to celebrate Pride. Kasi yung Pride na June Pride is the start of Pride itself.
Yeah.
However, there are like, di ba may Metro Manila Pride na, alam mo yun,
Mm-mm.
iba-iba yung celebration ng Pride. So I think it's just apt to celebrate Pride every month because in one part of the world, Pride is being celebrated that month. Parang ganon. So
Mm-mm.
yun, so I celebrate it by just showing and also standing up for the community, showing up for the community, talking about the causes. Like right now, kasi during the pandemic, we cannot go out there. We cannot do a
Yeah.
pride march and all. So like right now, I'm trying to be really active. I hosted a pride event for Love Yourself, which was
Ooh.
a pride concert and I hosted it with a drag queen. So yun,
Oh.
that's how I show support na kapag ako talaga, if it's a Pride themed event, lalo na kapag Pride Month nga, which is June, I automatically say yes. Mahirap. Girl, yung Pride event, as in literal na 2.5 hours yung biyahe from where I live. Pero girl, dadayuhin ko yon. Ganun level. Because it's something for the community. Diba?
Yeah.
Sino-sino pa ba ang magtutulungan for the community? But tayo-tayo lang din. And not everyone is given the chance to do something. 'Di ba? Like what you said nga,
Exactly.
tayo kasi it's a privilege that we're able to express ourselves, to come out, to do something for the community. But not everyone has that privilege. Not everyone gets to do that for the community. And there are a lot of people who needs that.
Mm-hmm.
Yung parang makita nila na, okay, may visible gay figure, may visible lesbian figure, may visible trans figure out there na alam ko hindi ako nag-iisa. Na parang those in the closet, those who are afraid to come out, those who are still processing things, 'di ba? Alam nila na it's okay. What they're going through is normal. And there are people out there who's ready to embrace them and, salubungin sila with open arms once they're ready to come out. Who are willing to pave the way for them to make it easier for them eventually. Kasi it's also my way of paying it forward for our predecessors who also paved the way for us, di ba? Na parang, okay, they made it easy, a little bit easier for us. So why not make it a little bit easier for the next generation?
Exactly. Yeah. I love that. Yeah,
So
well, totoo
yon.
naman, the predecessors ahead of us had to go through so much
Mm-hmm.
struggle to hide so much to be able to like, and I love that. For the first time, like right now, I'm gonna have, since you mentioned about like speaking and talking, I'm gonna have my first Pride event thingy. Like I've been doing Pride, like
Woo!
it's not like a company thing, so I'm invited to talk for a company about coming out and creating safe
Mm-hmm.
spaces, and I was like, oh, I get to do that now. Like I never imagined myself to
Yes.
be able to do that. And funny thing here is I'm gonna do it for a company in my grandparents in my dad's province in Tuguegarao. I'm not gonna go there. It's an online event, but it's a company there, and it's a milestone for me because my dad really had a hard time accepting this, and my grandfather
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'm sure that they still have reservations. I'm sure that they still can't see me kissing a guy in front of them. I don't know. Like it's not
Yeah.
yet something that we're we'll cross
They're
the
ready
bridge
to
when we get there.
embrace.
Yeah, not yet,
Yeah.
but they get it. They understand the gain. Like they see it as I never changed naman. So like they see as they think that it's just like, oh, this is it. But they haven't seen the other part of it, so that's another struggle for me to actually
Yeah.
go through, so I have to like deal with that. So I don't have a boyfriend yet because of that, I guess. Because I really want the next one to go join on family vacations, Christmas dinners,
Pero
like that's the goal.
Pero alam mo, I'll tell you this ha. Like, we've talked about it nga na I post my boyfriend online, people get to see my boyfriend, but yun nga, it's not easy for me and my boyfriend. Like, it took a while before my dad was able to accept him. I remember that particular dinner when I told my dad that me and my boyfriend are invited sa family reunion. And then my dad said, okay, so hindi kami pupunta. It was like a few years back. So parang, sabi ko, I just said that we're invited. I never said that we're going, di ba? Because I know that he feels awkward pa that time.
Yeah.
And then, yon for, for like, after a few years, parang he saw naman, like, when I got my surgery, my boyfriend was there. Like, he saw how my boyfriend took care of me. And I was surprised na nung 7th birthday ng baby brother ko, and I told him, pa, dadalhin ko yung boyfriend ko ha. He said, yes. Alam mo yun, parang, oh, okay. So parang, maybe when you introduce your boyfriend to your parents in the future, it will not be easy. Be ready for it. But, totoo yung sinasabi nilang, it gets better.
Yeah.
It will get better. Kasi kapag nakita nilang inaalagaan ka at masaya ka naman, at hindi naman, hindi ka naman sinasaktan or whatnot, remember, our parents are a good test of character din. Good judge
Yeah.
of character rather. Na parang alam nila kung sino yung taong okay sa'yo, di ba? Remember, may mga times din talaga na parang, oo nga no, my parents warned me about this person.
Oo.
So they know if that particular partner is good for you then. So parang
Sige.
feeling ko dadating yung point na yun na parang pag nag-introduce ka, titingnan lang muna nila kung mabuting tao to.
Well, hindi ko pa hindi ko pa kaya kasi hindi naman ako marunong umano ngayon. Hindi ako marunong lumande. Ang hirap naman ito. It's so
Ay!
hard. Anyway, no. So back to the so I am just happy that they were like, "Oh, I saw that poster of you. You're gonna speak about that." I'm like, "Oh, they're happy about it." I was
Yeah.
scared kasi when it's in the province, it's your last name that's
Mhm.
gonna be, and then people are gonna be like, "Oh, kamag-anak ng
By
ganito."
association talaga, no?
Yeah, and I thought they'll be like upset na, oh, they'll know that I'm gay. You know, it was hard because the only conversation, since you had your conversation with your dad, we were talking earlier na he had this conversation. Chal has an episode with his podcast, The Sisters Niya, so which he'll tell you all about later.
Yeah.
They had the conversation with his dad. And I never had that conversation too. But the only thing that I did, I'm a very blunt person. So we were drunk. We were drunk. I'm bringing my dad home. We were drunk. I asked him, okay ka lang ba talagang bakla ako? Or translating for people who's not speaking Filipino, are you sure that you're okay, that I'm gay? So, and then he cried. And he was like, it's just hard down for him and all the likes. It was really struggling for him.
Mhm.
What he was holding on to was his own identity, that he was brusco, and now he's having a gay son and all that. Like, that was his struggle, and it was valid. You know, for me, I thought that
Mhm.
okay, it's a valid struggle. You know, I took it hard also when I was trying to accept it. It wasn't the best one for me. It wasn't the road, an easy road, but I was able to go through it. So wala lang, knowing all those, like that was for me, that's also a good celebration pride. Like being able to speak of creating safe spaces, being able to
Yes.
tell people not to rush anyone coming out. Like that's the goal. Actually, that's the goal of my talk,
Mhm.
which I'm so excited about. That allow people to come out
Yeah.
on their own, allow them to be able to discover who they are without your pressure. And even if you feel like they are gay, you don't have the right to say
Yeah.
that you're gay because you're this, you're that. It's a lot of unlearning kasi we always like to put
Mhm.
people in the box. That's what I'm trying to unlearn, when you see someone who's effeminate, you're like, I wish he was gay, or oh my gosh, maybe he is gay. Like, you have to stop imposing, I guess, what you think of that person unless they say it
Yes.
so. Right? Like, I think
Yes. That's
that's
why
the most.
Soji is important,
Oh,
'di ba?
yeah.
Because Soji, their Soji, meaning their orientation or expression or identity is theirs. Even though, because let's admit it, it's very fluid. The Soji is very fluid. So there could be cis hetero men who are very feminine expressive, 'di ba? But there's cis hetero men, 'di ba? Or maybe there are cis homosexual males who are also masculine expressing. 'Di ba? That's what
Yeah.
I learned kasi when I was trying to like understand Soji na parang okay, one, their Soji is not for us to discuss. And then two, parang kahit we call it a glass cabinet, 'di ba? Parang kahit obvious naman na yung Soji niya, let
Yeah.
him enjoy his glass cabinet.
Okay,
As
I
part of
like
the
that.
community, it's my responsibility na maging bouncer or maging protector ng glass cabinet na yon.
Yeah.
Dati kasi I actually relate sa AD, na parang when people ask me, bakla ba siya? I
Yeah,
would
the
always,
gaydar.
oo,
Yeah.
halata naman. 'Di ba parang, but then now, parang,
Same.
ask him. Ask
Yeah.
him.
Same,
That's his
same.
Soji, not me.
I
'Di ba
also
sabi ko,
say,
paano kung bisexual pala siya, 'di ba? Tapos sinabi ko bakla siya. Bisexual is not gay.
exactly.
'Di ba? Yung may gano'n.
It's something that you have to unlearn kasi I think growing up, you were always had to be put
Mm.
into a box kasi like that was my issue. Na parang, bakla ka ba? Bakla ka ba? Are you gay? And I'm like, I think, I don't know. Like, I really don't know the
Yes.
answer yet. Sometimes people don't know their answer. I love the glass cabinet. As we like dig into this topic, this is a good one.
Oo.
Yeah, I also am trying to unlearn that. When people tell me na, oh, can you take a look at his profile? Do you think he's gay? Do you think he's like that? And I'm like, well, there's a lot of ways to express themselves. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But I'm gonna say, I always say, though mine is I'm a bad. I don't have a gaydar. I don't have anything. It's defective. I don't
Mhm.
even know. Like I wouldn't know, and I wouldn't dare to put that na, oh, you're gay because of this. No, I wouldn't try to dare put my expectations on you because that's unfair for anyone. I think
Yes.
So I'm just like, I wouldn't know until they tell me, until I
Yeah.
ask. So like,
Or
and
maybe if they really want like a firm answer, sabi ko, maybe, I don't know, but
yeah,
siguro, 'di
yeah,
ba
who
parang,
knows? Yeah, like I
I
mean,
don't
he
know.
expressed. I'm not in a place to do whatever to say it,
Yeah.
but we who in my
Yeah, 'di
yeah,
ba?
ganyan. No, not in our place talaga. So I like that. Let's discuss since we talked
Mhm.
about soji, and I think a lot of people when they say soji, it's a little foreign to them. So can you dig a
Yes.
little deeper about soji? Because you told us it's fluid, it's all that. Can you
Yes.
dig a little deeper? And can you tell us more about that glass cabinet thing and how were you able
Mm-hmm.
to discover that mindset of a glass cabinet? That people should actually, I don't know,
Yeah.
that's a notable thing, guys. There's a glass cabinet, and I never knew that analogy yet until today.
Mm-hmm.
So go dig deep on
Yes.
Soji. Take it away.
Kasi actually it's more than Soji nga. It's now Soji SC.
Ooh.
So SOGI, it's an acronym that stands for sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the SC stands for sexual characteristics or sex characteristics. So SOGI is your sexual orientation, meaning who you are attracted to, meaning palabas yung love. Okay? Who so that's how we identify it, yung palabas.
Okay.
Meaning, yun nga, kanino ka attracted.
Yes.
Whether you're heterosexual, homosexual. Tapos, gender identity is whether paloob naman yung love or paloob yung tingin, how you see yourself, how you identify yourself, whether you're straight, you're gay, you're pansexual, sexual pala is on the sexual orientation. So, dun papasok yung trans woman, trans man. Okay?
Okay. So
And
this one
then,
is the cis. So when it comes to sexual orientation, it's who do you love, who do you choose to love?
yes.
Tama. And
Yes.
then
So parang dun papasok ko if you're homosexual,
or
heterosexual, pansexual, bisexual,
metro
yon, or
demisexual
asexual.
or asexual
Yes.
ganon. All right, so that's one, guys. And then when you talk about gender identities, how you see yourself. So is this the
Yes.
one where you call, is this the one the cisgender or not the cis?
Cisgender. Yes.
Okay.
I'm a
All right.
cis male, I'm a cis female, um I'm like a
Trans.
trans woman. Yes.
Trans man. Okay, so when you talk about cis gender or cis man, cis woman, can you explain us more on that one? What is a cis
Yes.
man and a cis woman?
When you say cis, meaning it's the gender that you are born with.
Okay.
And you still identify to the gender that you are born with.
Okay.
So like me, I'm a cis male. I'm a cis homosexual.
Yeah. Same.
Okay. So as
Cis homo.
homo, or we usually say a homosexual cis male, because I still
Okay.
identify as male, but I love the same
Yeah.
the a person with the same gender identity.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will not be in love with a trans woman or a
Yeah.
trans man. Di ba? Parang, I only love, um, like, cis male. Parang ganon.
Yeah.
Parang, it's the, you get to define kasi your soji. So, pag cis, it means you still identify with the gender that you are born with. Pag
Okay.
trans, meaning, you don't identify na, or you identify to a gender different
From the one you were
from
born with.
one you're born with. Yes.
Okay.
So, wala na din tayong sinasabi na transsexual, transvestite. Wala na yan.
Yeah.
So,
It's
trans men and trans women. Actually the right term na. Trans men and trans women. You don't
yes.
actually ask them. So, lalaki ka before, you don't ask that. Automatic, alam mo na dapat na when he's
They
trans
say
or
yeah.
she's trans. Yes,
He
that's it.
yeah, that's no questions asked, don't have to ask
Okay.
from behind. Okay, so that's the respect that we
Yeah.
give to our fellow trans community over there, sending
Yes.
some love to our trans family over. Thank you so much for making this way. Oh, I love this conversation. This is very
Yung,
educational, huh? Okay,
yes,
so we have gender, or sexual orientation, gender identity. Now we have the
identity,
expression.
expression.
Okay, so what
Gender
is gender
expression,
expression?
meaning how you express, like, yun naman yung external na, how you present yourself to the world naman. Meaning, there could be, like, balik na lang tayo sa akin, like, I could be as homosexual cis male, but
Yeah.
feminine yung expression ko. Meaning, kaya ko mag-skirt,
Mhm.
diba? Or whatnot. Or like, let's say, since I don't know their soji, pero like, just for example, I saw this kasi, I saw this article wherein the CEO, I forgot his name, but there's the CEO that he's a cis heterosexual male. Heterosexual cis male.
Okay.
But his expression when it comes to work attire is feminine. He likes wearing skirts. Low, naka-coat siya
Okay.
sa taas, pero naka-skirt siya sa baba. Tapos nag-heels din siya. Because he feels empowered when he wears skirts and heels. So yun yung sinasabi natin na hindi hindi siya parang fixed.
Yeah.
So you can be feminine expressing or male expressing or androgynous, which is in the middle.
Yeah.
Yun naman siya.
Oh my gosh, androgynous and say
So,
androgynous. Who comes to mind is Tilda Swinton. Do you know her? I love
I
her.
know her.
Like she is
Oo.
the angel in Constantine, and then it wasn't
Constantine.
you don't know if she's a man or a woman in
Parang
that. Like it's just in
more a
those,
woman. Yes.
yeah, it's just like a human. And
But
I love Tilda
but
Swinton.
she's just so beautiful, no?
I know, I
Parang,
love her.
oh my God, ang ganda ng mukha niya.
I know she's
Ganon.
such
Ganon
a
level.
beauty. Such a beauty in
Ayun.
life. But I love her. I love
And who's the
how
monk sa ano? Who's the monk sa Doctor Strange? Medyo androgynous din yung,
Tilda
I
Swinton.
forgot.
That's also Tilda Swinton. That's also Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
also
sorry.
her, right?
Yeah,
So that's a
yeah.
perfect example
Mm-mm.
of like androgynous and also a perfect example of whatever. I love how we talk about this. So we talked about sexual orientation, gender
Yes.
identity, and gender expression. So you express yourself in feminine way. I also express myself. Like I think everybody has a way to express themselves in both feminine and masculine
Mm-hmm.
energies, which I still have
So
both.
medyo I lean towards the androgynous thing because right now I'm gonna be buying my very actually after this after like me eating with my family pupunta na ako sa department store bibili ko ng first pair of heels ko because yes I'm gonna be on drag on Tuesday.
Whoa!
So
Drag! Oh my god! I actually wanna be on drag. Like I wanna try. But again, there's another issue and bump in the road. Okay, so there's this issue with the issue. My mom and I kind of like had this conversation, and I was like, "Hayaan mo na." So she had this remark about why shouldn't be wearing girl clothes or something like that, and I was like, hayaan mo na. You know, that's what
uh-uh.
she wants. Or he wants. I'm not sure if Vice's
Yeah,
Soji. It has always been unclear. I think it's not that he
it's
doesn't,
for
he or
Vice
she,
to
yeah,
define his soji.
yeah. Or, yeah, it's up to him, her, whatever, them. It's up to them to define their Soji. So, ayan, when we talk about those, I think I had to tell my mom about some stuff, you know. And I actually watch Drag Race and I love it and
Mm-hmm.
I see it and I think my mom is just saying that I shouldn't dress like that. But at a certain point, the crop tops, to be honest, clothes doesn't have gender if I were
Yes.
to be exact. So there isn't supposed to be any limit of the way you want to wear a clothing because we all
Yes.
started with leaves and whatever, you know, like
Yes.
come on. So for me, I wear crop tops. My expression is mostly feminine in a sense where my voice, my actions, the language that I speak, I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand hetero cis males. I don't I don't understand how they speak. I don't understand ball games. I don't understand those. I try, but I'm like, weird. I
Yes.
don't get it. I get more of the feminine guys and also feminine, you know, the mentality of feminine
Mm-hmm.
people. There's a switch, you know, because for me, I think these energies have to be respected in a sense that you can be both.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Yes.
give an example. Bretman Rock
Bretman Rock.
is the best
Yes.
example of both feminine and masculine. Have you seen his body? Like,
Oh
I
my
mean,
God. That body yada 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 yada
I
yada
know.
yada.
I
Oh
mean,
my God.
damn. And then he's like, "Good morning, Mararek," and she's just like amazing in the outfits. I love Redman, and then that's an example of like being able to embrace your soji and being able to be
Mm-hmm.
comfortable with your soji, and that's, I guess, for me, that's my goal to be also, you know, proud of that because again, there are internal things. You said there are internal things. There is such internal problems like internal homophobia, internal transphobia within the community. If you're very like feminine and they don't like you, they put you in the inferior. And all I would say is like we are the ones who actually, you know, push
Yeah.
good things to happen, and you're just in the background saying we're the weaker ones, and that's not true. Like there are so many things that within the community, and it makes me feel upset sometimes about myself. Like, why can't I be more masculine? Why can't I be more like this so that people would kind of like me more and all the likes? And you know how? Okay, so let's get a little personal. You know how they like, oh, what a hot guy, and everybody's gonna be like following this hot guy. Now, if you're a hot gay dude who is very feminine, hot, homosexual cis male who is hot but extremely gay, you're not gonna get the same thing. You're gonna be like, I
Yes.
Barbie, I ano, bortang Barbie, I ganyan, which just makes you feel like, so
Oh
I have
my
to
God.
fit in that box, like
I can actually super duper relate to that because
bawal na
there was
ba?
this one time, I'll share you the story. There's
Go,
this
go.
one time, my jowa surprised me with a camera. So I posted this in Twitter. Yun yung unang nag-trend ko na tweet ever. Na parang um pina-follow niya ako towards the car because it was our usual Friday dinner. So dala-dala ko yung gym bag ko, tapos naka-fitted white shirt ako, so medyo borta-borta yung dating ko, pero naka-short
Oo.
shorts, ganyan. Tapos, he was videotaping na pala pagdating sa car. Biglang pag-open ko ng trunk, nandun nga yung camera. So, I was surprised. Sabi ko, oh my God, baby, ano to? Ganyan-ganyan. Tapos, the essence of the video was him surprising me. 'Di ba? It was yun, that's it.
Yeah.
So when I posted it in Twitter na parang, oh my God, my boyfriend surprised me with a camera, ganito, ganyan. So it got a lot of like support and whatnot. But there were comments like, oh my God, ang laki-laki, pero Barbie. Tapos parang, ano yun, basta parang ang daming mga ganun types of comments na parang, ay, ano ba naman, ang lambot pala, parang binabad sa downy. And I'm like, hindi niyo ba nakuha yung memo? Whoever told you na paminta ko?
I
'Di
love
ba?
that.
Parang
It's like
saan niyo nakuha yung impression na porket malaki katawan ko at bulging yung muscles ko that time, paminta ko. Wala, I never said na paminta ko. I'm baklang-bakla, as in baklang-bakla, but remember this. So, ang ginawa ko, kino-tweet ko yun, sabi ko, baklang-bakla man ako sa inyong paningin, kaya ko kayong balibagin. And then I posted a video of me doing a 300-pound deadlift. And with and wearing all pink.
I love
Or
it.
kung hindi
You
all
drove
pink, I was
them
like wearing a
crazy.
uniform. Yeah, unicorn top with the short shorts, tapos yung belt ko pink. So parang sabi ko, oh, baklang-bakla ako. But I definitely know that you can't do the things that I'm lifting or I'm doing. 'Di ba? Parang, can we stop putting people in a box? Na
Exactly.
parang, oh sige, baklang-bakla nga ako sa inyong paningin. Pero shoota kapag, sorry, ay baka i-bleep mo na lang, eh.
No, it's all
Pero
good.
kapag ano,
Sure, okay lang. I
pag
put it
ako, if you
explicit.
cross me, kaya kitang balibagin.
For
Alam mo
sure.
yon, parang,
Amen. Yeah. That's me too.
du-
Like,
wag. Diba?
yeah.
Don't
I'm
try
like,
me.
I'm not hiding. Nobody is hiding. And since when was it a sin to actually want your body to look great, even if
Yes.
you're feminine and all the likes? Who doesn't want that? Like, come on now.
Exactly.
Come on.
'Di ba?
Oh, I feel you on that level. I'm like, people will also tell me, and I'll hear like backhanded comments, and I'm like, do you know, like, I do Muay Thai? Like, do you think my legs are just for show, for fun? Like, I
Exactly.
can kick
They
you.
don't
Like,
know that I'm a taekwondo
oh,
belter.
see, oh, like, people don't know. I'm like, are you sure you really want to do this right
'Di
now?
ba
Like,
parang,
I had to do this all my life because I'm actually afraid of getting hurt. The reason why I did all those
yes.
self defense was actually to defend myself when I
May
need to.
May
Yeah.
chika din ako. I don't know if you saw the TikTok video that I posted wherein there's this gay guy saying, you know what? Let's be real for a quick second. Like, these straight men, they're actually afraid of us. Because imagine a world where if us gay guys
I
become
saw that.
straight all of a
I
sudden,
I
di
saw
ba
that.
parang tangina mawawalan kayo ng girlfriend. Sorry, but be honest, your girlfriends would like us more than they like you.
Good
So just
fashion
be thankful
sense.
that yes, we can go to, like, we can pick their makeup for them, 'di ba? Parang tapos marunong din kami ng household chores. We can accompany them sa kung saan-saan na like place and whatnot that you don't appreciate. 'Di ba? Parang, oh my God, you'll lose all of your girlfriends. And oh, can we just like not forget that most gay men are good looking. Like,
Exactly. No, yeah,
so
for sure.
please stop the hate. I think they're
Ah,
just like chatting. But
I
di ba?
yeah, that's a whole struggle. Okay, I love that we have a lot of topics. Super fun. Okay, but
Mhm.
closing in back to Soji, you said there was an SC. What's
Yes.
SC?
SC is sex characteristic. So basically, it's just like your private part. Meaning whether you have a male sexual characteristic or female sexual characteristic, or an intersex or an
Okay,
intersex, because there are
there,
a lot
yeah,
of intersex already na parang nakakalimutan sila. That's why we had to emphasize SC.
SC.
So
Yeah.
parang dun din papasok na parang if you're a trans woman, 'di ba?
Who?
Yung gender affirming surgery,
Yeah,
kasi baka sabihin nila parang, so wala na. It's actually rude. So when a trans
yeah,
woman introduces themselves, like a trans woman I know, she's a pansexual trans woman with female sexual characteristic. Because
yeah.
I also know, um
People. Yeah.
yeah, she is a straight or heterosexual trans woman who has a male characteristic.
Mhm.
So parang nandun na siya
Yeah.
na,
Okay, that's a good one. I never knew about the sexual characteristic part. But I did know about intersexual and
mhm.
like so SC is a more it's a just a very much specific. Like it's
Yes.
more yeah, okay, that's good. So now that we talked about specificity, no, I think this is a question that we always get, actually mostly
Yes.
get is why are there so many letters in the LGBTQIA alphabet? And why do we have to do those things? Why do you think we have to
Yes.
have these letters represented?
I think one of the reasons why there are a lot of letters in the LGBTQIA plus plus
Yeah.
community is because our community is very inclusive. Actually, one of the A's there is an ally. Because being an ally is being part of the community, you standing with the community, and we will recognize you as an ally. 'Di ba? So everybody here in the community, might it be whatever your sexual characteristic is, your gender expression is, your gender identity is, you are welcome and you will be recognized. That's the reason why there are a lot of letters, is for us to be inclusive of whatever it is. Kung ano mang soji mo, makikita mo yon doon sa
Yeah.
letters. So
I
it's just
love
it
that.
just so happens na kapag sinabi nating LGBTQIA+++, or if you put all the letters within the spectrum, it will be a long run. Or it will be a long run. It will be a long ass
Yeah.
like letters, group of letters. That's why we just stick with the most common ones, which is LGBTQIA+.
QIA plus. Yeah. Yeah, 'cause I think we get that question a lot, no? Why do you always have to put it very specifically? Why do you always have to do this? You're making things complicated. But I think, for me, why it just it feels important, why we all have those letters is also representation to know that to acknowledge that people in this spectrum actually exists.
Yes.
They exist.
It
They
validates their
want
existence.
yeah, and they want to be seen and heard because the only reason why we put them there and we want to be inclusive is because we all know how it feels like to
Yes.
not be understood, to be under the rock, to hide, to actually be in fear of our own
Mm-hmm.
lives because of the truth that we are living. And
Yes.
it's not something that, oh, straight people can fight that because you don't have to deal discrimination in hospitals. You don't have to deal discrimination with having partners that are enlisted as this, enlisted as that, because we don't
Mm-hmm.
have laws protecting us. We don't have the
Exactly.
SOGI bill. We don't have anything. Actually, did a thesis on this back in college about how LGUs are being able to provide LGBTQIA policies in their own accord, in their own departments, but they can't. They can't
Mm-hmm.
because there is no umbrella policy or law that is protecting the rights of our people in the community.
Yes.
Like, at all. There isn't. You know, they don't even recognize. And do you know how hard it is to actually? It's how painful it is to actually be misgendered, miscalled, and you deliberately called that way even if you're
Yes.
not. It's disrespectful, and it's really just so. demeaning to people. So that's why we have, I think for my end, the reason why we have that,
Yeah.
and I always have to, I don't like to just say LGBT community. No, LGBTQIA plus, because there's so much
Yes.
more. There's so much more than just that, and I want them to be heard. And so yeah, that I think that that's an asset. I love doing this. This is such a wonderful. I learned a lot, and this super amazing. Thank you so much. Ang galing, I
Yeah.
love. Okay, but before, can you tell us more about the glass cabinet naman? So that's one of the things that
Ayon.
I
Mhm.
liked it also. Yeah. So can you tell us about the glass cabinet? So we talked about specificity. Now the glass cabinet.
Yes. It's just a term that I just recently discovered. I was just reading an article and it says that a glass cabinet is just like any other closet, 'di ba? May mga tao talaga na parang nasa loob pa ng closet. But a glass
Yeah,
cabinet when you or a glass closet or whatever, um kapag yung tao nasa loob pa pero lahat tayo nakikita natin kung ano siya, 'di ba? But it's
mm,
inside the cabinet for a reason. So parang even though the whole world is telling you you're a certain, you're gay, you're lesbian, you're whatever, it's still your right to be inside that glass cabinet. 'Di ba? Parang even though people can see through you, as long as you're not ready to come out, you can stay inside that glass cabinet. 'Di ba? And then, once you're ready, you can always go out. So, yun yung concept niya na parang a lot of people nga would say na, I think he's gay kasi ganito siya and whatnot. Kung hindi ka pa ready or feeling mo hindi ka pa, hindi mo pa napaprocess kung ano ka talaga, stay inside that glass cabinet or that closet. Even though the whole world is telling you you're this, then you can stay inside there. So, yun yung konsepto ng glass cabinet. It's just like any other closet, but then nakikita naman na ng ibang tao. The society, like society
yeah,
sees you. It's just that you're not yet ready to show to affirm to society who you really are. And it's okay.
yes. Cheers. It is very okay. Ah, I love that. Now, in addition to that, guys, next Pride episode would be about coming out, and that's with Carl Bautista. I hope you
Mm-hmm.
join us on that one. It's super cool.
Carl, yeah.
Yes, see
He's also my
Spidey.
BB.
I
Yeah.
know he does he knows kings and queens, he knows Miguel, we actually became friends because of skating. I got him to buy skates
Uh-uh.
too. I got him to buy
Oh
skates.
my God.
So
But you guys live near each other, di ba?
yeah, okay, so the story there, I was skating in the village and then he like clapped. I was like, oh, thank you. And then after that, I saw him doing parkour. And I was like, wait, I have to check TikTok if this is Carl. And I like went up to him and say, hi, are you Carl? And then yes, this history. We
Yeah.
became super good friends, and then we've been skating together. We actually are gonna skate again next week. It's really just fun. I really liked how you were able to connect, and it awesome. And he's also such an advocate, and we had a great episode too. So I'm excited for you guys to
Yes.
listen. And for Chal here, I am so happy that you are here. Thank you for. We had a lot, like everything. I think
Yeah.
everybody. It's a jam packed
Medyo
episode.
medyo naging palabok lang because you know me, AD. I talk a lot and
And
like
we all like
when
did
I
like
talk I don't
that.
stop. Yeah,
It's
but
all good.
I hope you guys were able to like learn something from what I said.
For
Yeah.
sure, for
But
sure.
keep
I
on
actually did.
supporting. Yeah, keep on supporting kasi hindi naman porket part kami ng community, we know everything about the community. We're just a
Yes.
speck of what is really the LGBTQIA community is. Yeah.
We're just the worker ants here trying to like
Yes.
bring in the news and all the like. So now we talk about uplifting voices and doing our own thing and our own part for the
Mm-hmm.
community. Now our final question for today is how can you help people further uplift their voices for the LGBTQIA plus community other than just the superficial posts and etc. Because you talked about advocates who just say
Mm-hmm.
support and there are allies. So if they are allies, if they are part of the community, so allies are part of the community. So if you are part of the community, how can we help uplift the voices of the community as well? So,
Take up space. I think I'll sum it up with that. Take up space. because the more space we occupy, the more we get seen, the more people will listen. And um yun nga, when people kasi see that there are people standing up for them, tendency is they will stand with that person, 'di ba? So you need to take up space, you need to be visible, not just with superficial posts. You need to like really be talking about it to different people, putting yourselves out there na parang uh like this one, like we take over Spotify, we take over YouTube, we take over like a lot of ano. And yun nga, going beyond the superficial, like what I said in my Blogapalooza audition video, I'm willing to ask questions that the other people are afraid to ask. Have
Cheers.
discussions
Yes.
that people are afraid to have. Because those discussions are the most important discussions. But it's just society telling us that you can't have those discussions. And we need to break those barriers. How? By taking up space and having those discussions when in the process of taking up space. And with that, we go beyond Pride Month. We go beyond just showing like our advocacy in words. Diba? We become true allies, not just to the community, but also to the people in society who are also a minority. Diba? It doesn't stop naman with the community. Eh. We
Yeah.
can show people na yung mga minorities natin na you too can take up space.
Yeah. It's
Diba?
intersectional,
Yes.
everything that we fight for in the community. It's intersectional with women's rights,
Yes.
intersectional with indigenous people's rights
Yes.
and
Indigenous
all the
people.
yeah.
Yes.
So it's a
So
lot,
yon. So just take up space, as much space as you could. Be a good representative of the community, and that's it. I mean, we can only do so much as part of the community, but as long as you constantly take up space and you become proud of who you are in the process of taking up space, then you can influence other people to become proud of who they are as well. Not to be afraid. Not it's okay to come out. It's okay to be part of this community. That we are more than our soji. And then from there, we're gonna be a better society.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Thank you, Chal, for sharing your time and space and taking this
Ano
space
ka
up with
ba?
me.
Anytime.
Oh, okay. Anyway, now all good things must come to an end. This is us. Thank you so
Yes.
much for being here. But before we go, Chal, can you say, can you tell us where we can send you some love again? Where we could follow
Yeah.
you and where we could hear more of you and see more of you.
All right. So to those people who are listening, again, my name is Chal. You can follow me on Instagram. It's at it's Chal, HEYITSCHAL. That's also my Twitter handle with three E's because my original Hey It's Chal got suspended. Gusto mo yung kwento ko talaga, but yeah, the original Hey It's Chal got suspended. So it's a new one. It's Hey It's Chal. And that's it. Please do support Kings and Queens in spaces.mnl in Facebook. And also our podcast, me and my sister. Please do listen. I think it's up na din. It's The Bish, The Bax, and The Besh in Spotify.
The
So
Bish,
it's me
the
and my sister.
Bags, the Besh.
The
I love
Besh,
it.
yes. So kami tatlo magkakapatid yon. We talk about multi-generational issues, and we just did actually um an episode for Pride Month and Father's Day. So please do support that and please do listen. So thank you A for having me.
Thank you so much, guys. And thank you for being here, lovies. Thank you for taking up this time and space with me. I appreciate you. And this is all it. I'll see you again on our next episode of Coming Out with Carl Bautista here on our Pride Month special. This is Love, Growth, and Freedom with Adrian Duarte, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.